Hi guys, it's your buddy Rorschach here. Thank you for clicking on the video. It is me, really. See, it's me. How's everyone doing today? Are you doing well? Are you wearing a frown? But if you're wearing a frown, turn it upside down. Because I want to talk about Antifa, I want to talk about the Joker, and I want to talk about Batman. And also I want to talk about the future of comic books. The future of comics is actually happening right now. And this is the future of mainstream comics, at least. Obviously, Fox Day is doing his own thing, and the Comicsgate people are doing their own thing. But if you want to go to your local comic book store every week, these are the books that you need to be looking out for. Batman Damned by Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo. Fantastic artwork, and there's a quality in the writing, a thoughtfulness that you don't often get in the mainstream. And Frank Miller's jumped on board now with Superman. Probably not as good as Batman Damned, but we're just beginning with this story. Okay. So because I was so impressed with the Batman Damned books, I was quite happy to see this little trade paperback in store a couple of weeks ago. The Joker. Written by the same man and with the same artist as well. How did I miss this one? This one was released about, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years ago. You're going to have to tell me when it was released. Was it 2008? Yeah, maybe. I think it was 2008 it was released. What was I doing back then? How did I miss this book? Well, I missed it. So I've purchased the trade paperback, and now I've read the trade paperback, and I want to tell you all about it and why this has got something to do with Antifa and what they get up to in the real world, and why they're allowed to get away with what they're doing. Okay, so the story first. The story is the Joker being released from Arkham Asylum. I don't actually know why he was released from Arkham Asylum, because he seems like quite a dangerous criminal. Perhaps I do know why he's released, and perhaps I know who was responsible for his release, revealed at the end of the book. Okay, so I've got a theory here. So the Joker is released, and he's helped out by this low-level hood called, I think it's Johnny Frost. Yeah, Johnny Frost, who's the narrator of the book. Johnny Frost is just he's low down on the totem pole of the local gangsters. He wants to rise, so he's going to get close to Joker. He's portrayed as a generic, almost like a 1930s hood, is Johnny Frost. But he's a bad guy. It's quite obvious. There's clues in the book that this is a bad guy. This is a low life. Right? I found him to be quite bland, really. He wasn't Johnny Frost. He was more Johnny generic. But the idea here, I guess, from the writer, is to use him as a vehicle into the mind of the Joker. And as I read the book, as I followed the Joker through the eyes of Johnny Generic, I got less and less interested in the character, because the character of the Joker is quite easily understood in this book. It's all about the scar, right? It's not a painted on smile, it's a scarred up smile. So he's almost making the best of a bad situation by putting the makeup on there, but he's obviously got serious issues with his facial disfigurement, alright? He's suicidal, he's a pill popper. I tell you what, I did like his relationship with Harley Quinn, though. It was almost like a dream relationship for a big old misogynist like myself, in that Harley Quinn is very sexy. She does whatever Joker wants her to do, but he doesn't even have to verbalise, that doesn't have to tell her. She kind of knows instinctively what her man wants. And the best thing about Harley Quinn, apart from her, basically acting as a dog for the Joker and looking very hot, is that, and this is something that you're not going to get in comics in 2019, she doesn't talk at all. She's completely sexy and silent. I'm just joking, by the way. This is not my dream woman, but that's her role in the book. She's silent, she's sexy, she's hanging out in the background, and she's helping her man. Okay, so the Joker, a pill popper, a unpredictable loon, and he's trying to get his empire back from characters like the Penguin. How does he do this? Does he do this with his big brain? Does he do this by like a political strategy, by gaining allies and maybe gaining some blackmail material? What can I do for you? What can you do for me? That kind of thing. That the return of favours for the shared goal of power. No, it's not as intelligent as that, unfortunately. All Joker does is he goes around the city using the muscle of his Killer Croc there and other thugs to basically strong arm his way into power. And I don't think that would actually work in the real world, because what would happen if you got some crazy loon like this you can't trust, right? You can't be loyal to, because he might, finally attack you at any moment. Now what would happen is, because people couldn't trust him, because he was so wildly unpredictable, he'd get a bullet in the back of the head, and that'd be the end of the Joker. And there he is crying there at Harley Quinn. So he's an unstable madman, messed up because of the facial disfigurement. So to me, he wasn't a realistic gangster. I don't think he'd last very long, in the real world. But there's nothing real world about this book. It's like mafioso, Godfather, those old Hollywood movies where the Italians are in charge of all the organised crime. But the artwork's very, very nice throughout. So as the book progressed, I was getting less and less interested in the character of the Joker, because what else is there to say about a crazy guy who's kind of self-destructive? There's not a lot to say, really, is there? So the book really got interesting to me at the end, when Joker posed a question to Batman, and this is his question. You leave that little window. The little window is obviously that bit there, the mask, right? A glimpse at the perfection underneath. Obvious. The chiselled good looks, not the jaw, the mouth of a monster. So the Joker's talking about himself there, calling himself a monster. So all of his problems come with the physical disfigurement. I got that quite early on in the book. And he says to Batman, "Why do you let it be seen? Tell me why." And Batman responds, "To mock you." There's a hint of a smile there on Batman's face. So he just wants to mock the Joker, right? So what has this been about, Batman? Why is Joker running around the city causing mayhem? Is it just for your own entertainment? Is it just to amuse you? You seem to me, Mr. Bruce Wayne, to be enabling the actions of the Joker here, much in the same way in the real world lefty governments enable the actions of Antifa, right? Antifa are only a thing because they're the attack dogs of the establishment. If they did anything against the establishment, that'd be the end of Antifa. And I think it's the same with the Joker. The Joker's only running around Gotham causing mayhem, not because he's the attack dog of Batman, but because he's amusing Batman. He's giving a bored billionaire playboy something to do, something to chase. A good excuse to dress up as a bat, really. So who's the bad guy here? Is it the Antifa Joker, or is it the Batman? Because the Batman could, snap the neck of the Joker anytime he likes. And I'm just talking metaphorically. He could, deal with the problem of Joker for good. So this is Batman, isn't it? Batman being the bad guy. Batman being the stand-in for the modern Democratic Party, lefty, Labour Party welfare state, really. And you could take it even further, the analogy, and you could talk about the spate of stabbings in London at the moment. This could be clamped down on very, very quickly, because we know who the people are who are getting a little bit stabby on a weekly basis. They are being enabled by the matriarchal single mom welfare state, because the matriarchal single mom welfare state needs the votes. So they need the votes. Batman just needs something to do. Who's the real bad guys here? Is it the people doing the stabbing, or is it the people who are enabling that to continue to take place? Is it the Joker, or is it a man enabling him to run around and act like a loon? Or is it Antifa, or is it the local authorities who say, nice one lads, you know, we've got your backs? You know, I think I'll end the video there. I think I've come to a nice conclusion, leaving a question to get discussed in the comments to this video, I think. Okay guys, thanks for checking out the vid. Please like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. And if you are really fed up with comic books at the moment, if there's nothing really that getting you excited, then jump on board Batman Damned. This is a great book. Would I advise you to get Joker? Yeah, the artwork's great. The character of the Joker, okay, he's not that difficult to understand, but it's a pretty good comic book in comparison to the usual junk that you get on a weekly basis, but probably just a little bit lower in level or standards compared to Batman Damned, which is probably good news for the writer and artist, because it means that they are really excelling at the moment. Okay guys, thanks for checking out the vid. Take care, and I'll catch you all later. See you guys.